welcome to the Dead Money Sports Playoff Selection Show. It's the Wildcard Weekend Edition here in the Gambling Parlor. And I am your host, Jesse. And I am excited for this weekend's matchups. We've got 6 playoff games, 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. So it's going to be a great weekend of football. We've got college playoffs. I'm recording this on Thursday night. Just watched the Miami Hurricanes advance to the national championship. We have one more game to go between the Oregon Ducks and the Indiana Hoosiers to see who will play the Hurricanes for the national championship in Miami. It was an exciting game, though, and I'm looking forward to football all weekend long. But we're here to talk about the NFL playoffs, so let's get into this. Now, I did release the early line show on Tuesday morning, but these lines have moved significantly since the early line show. I mean, I had written down numbers from Monday, recorded the show on Tuesday, and the spreads and totals for these games were already moving. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got right now for our matchups. And that is the first game of the week is the Carolina Panthers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The spread is consensus of minus 10.5 for the Rams with a total of 46. This line opened at 10 and 46.5, so it's been fairly consistent the most of the week. And I originally liked the over 46.5. It's gone down to 46, but I still like that. That is my favorite bet of this game. I think that the both offenses are going to be able to score. I think the only way Carolina has a chance to potentially win this game, or at least stay within the number, is if it's a shootout. I don't see the Carolina defense stopping LA's passing game. So I think the only way they can do it is to match them touchdown for touchdown. I don't think field goals are going to cut it. And I don't know if they move the ball fairly consistently. Now the Panthers have been definitely a Jekyll and Hyde this year when it comes to the turnovers. The Panthers, where is it at? I had it up here. They've only been, where is it? Panthers have entered the playoffs with a minus 69 point differential this season. So that's not great for them. But the turnovers are a big deal. I think. Oh, was it over here? Yeah. Ooh, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the Panthers have not been great when turning the ball over more than once. So if Carolina has more than one turnover in a game this season, they are 1-7. If they only have one or less, they are 7-2. And when they beat the Rams, they had a +3 turnover margin in that game. I don't think they're going to get that kind of turnover luck that they had if you watch that game. One of them was a deflection from Derek Brown that was intercepted in the end zone as the Rams were going in for a score. And one of them was a strip sack by Derek Brown at the end of that game. So I don't know if they're going to get that same type of turnover luck in this one. And that game should have had more points if the Rams don't get stopped with those scoring opportunities. So I really like the over 46 in the Rams Panthers game, the first game of the playoffs on Saturday. The second game of our Saturday slate is the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Now, when the early lines show came out, the spread was Green Bay money line, or it was -1 Chicago, but I said I liked Green Bay money line. But I liked the under 47.5 at that time. This line has dropped dramatically. It's now at a consensus of 44.5. There is the potential for inclement weather. They're talking about snow. Now, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot. It's going to be just enough to maybe, a light dusting on the field. But the real factor in this game is the wind. They're talking about sustained winds of 30 miles an hour. And we've seen what the winds can do in games in Chicago. The kicking game essentially goes out the window because you can't rely on long-distance field goals the way we have earlier, in the season when the weather is more not so bad with the wind. And so that means they may have more potential for fourth downs as opposed to kicking field goals. Will they go for 2 as opposed to kicking extra points? These are the little things, the little dynamics in these games that change due to the weather. And like the Carolina game, all these games are outdoor games, but the Carolina game has no weather issues. Chicago Green Bay is the one that it's really going to probably have an effect on the outcome of this game. And I think that's why we've seen this line move from 44.5 to 40, or from 47.5 to 44.5. I still think the under is the right side, but I would try to get the best number you can. As you can see, there are some places that are still giving you 45. One place, Fanatics, that's still got it at 46. So really try to find the best number that you can, but I do still think that the under is the right side here, as I could see this being like a 20-17 game. Like I said before, 21-17. I don't think this is going to be a very high-scoring matchup. Both these teams start slow. I still like Green Bay, though. I do like Green Bay on the money line. They've gone all the way to -1 now, as Green Bay is now the favorite, while Chicago is getting 52% of the tickets, but 72% of the money. Wow. That's significant. But we've also seen that teams getting, it's usually over 60% of the bets is not had a great season this year. The public has gotten slaughtered most of this year. Both teams are healthy, though. If you look at the injury report, both teams are really going to be at full strength. It looks like Adunze and Burden are both going to be back for Chicago. Love, Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson, Tom, their offensive linemen should all be back for Green Bay. So I do like the under still, although I would try to find the best number possible, as again, I gave it out at 47.5, but I still think the under is the right side here. If you can find it at 45 to 45.5, I would certainly be comfortable with that. And I do like Green Bay on the money line for the second wild card matchup on Saturday. Now, Sunday, we've got 3 exciting games, and the first one of the day may very well end up being the best game of the day, as we've got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This total has bounced around a lot. I originally liked the over 50.5 in the early line show. That line immediately shot all the way up to 52.5. Then I gave out the under 52.5 because I thought it went up too high. Games that are above 50, I think have not bode well. Wild card games closing with a total of 41 or more. Betting on the under, you have a 75% chance. So betting the under, although I do believe the over in the Carolina Rams game is the right side. I like the under in Chicago, Green Bay, and I like the under in Buffalo, Jacksonville. Now, I like Buffalo on the money line this week. They again have moved. They are -1. If you can find it at a pick, I would take the pick 'em. But I do like Buffalo here. I think their offensive line is going to be the difference in this game. If you look at Jacksonville's schedule, like over this win streak that they've had, the only really significant win they've had was over the Broncos. They've played the Colts, who are in a death spiral, twice. They played the Titans twice. They played the Jets. I think they played the Bengals. You know what I mean? Like, the only good team they really played was the Broncos, and I know the Broncos defense is really good, but their offense is middle of the pack. They've struggled to put teams away, even though the Broncos are the #1 seed. They could very well lose their first playoff game. So I just don't know how good the Jacksonville Jaguars winning streak really has been. Meanwhile, Buffalo's played a more difficult schedule over that stretch, and they've still been able to come ahead more times than not. So I do think Buffalo is the better team here. I think their defense is going to give Trevor Lawrence some issues and potentially create a turnover or two in this game that could very well be the difference in this matchup. Now, Josh Allen on the road has not been great against the spread and straight up. He's 0-5, 0-4, I believe. Yeah, on the road in the playoffs, Josh Allen is 0-4 straight up in ATS. So not the best record on the road in the playoffs. But I do think this is a much better team. And overall, Buffalo has lost 8 consecutive playoff games on the road. You know what? But it does say the Bills are 5-1 against the spread when facing teams who are above 500. Meanwhile, they're 2-5 against the spread at teams below 500. So they play to the level of their competition. And obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars are an above 500 team, which is where the Bills have seemed to excel for some reason. But they also struggle against the first half. Is this the game? No. So I think that's the right play here, is the under 52.5. Because it could go either way. I could pick either side in this one. So I'm going to stick with that. For the first game on Sunday between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to go with the under, if you can find it, 52.5 or under 52 for this game, as I think they start off slowly. The Buffalo Bills struggle in the first half. Jacksonville, although they have been scoring quite a few amount of points in their most recent games, it's been against weaker defenses, and I think this is a much better Buffalo Bills team. And I don't think they're going to be able to score as easily as they have in prior games. So for that first matchup between the Bills and the Jags, give me the under 52. Now next up, we've got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, and this line again has been on the move. Now it's at a consensus of 5. On the early line show, I had it at -2.5. It jumped all the way up to 4.5, and now it's at 5. But Philly does have the better defense, has the better offense, so I do think it's the right side. This line has also dropped to 44.5, and I do still like the under. If you can find it, like you're seeing some lines, I mean, look at that. That's down to 43.5 ESPN bet, but Fanatics holding tight at 46 still. Yeah, they opened in 46. That's when I really liked it then. Now it's gone down, but I still like it. Again, I feel like this is another one of these games that's going to be a rock fight where both teams are going to look to run the ball, protect the ball. I don't know if we're going to have much of an explosive offensive display in these games. I do like, if you can get the 5, though, I'll take San Francisco plus 5. But I do think actually, I have the over. I have it over 44.5. Give me the over 44.5. Yeah. I think San Francisco. Actually, I do think the way it's shaken out, I think there's actually going to be. Yeah, it'll be tight, but I think this is like a 27-24 game. These are two teams that will look to push the ball down the field, throwing it. They've got good running backs. Good. The defenses are good. Defenses could, well, Philly specifically could certainly create some turnovers. Philadelphia struggled on special teams, so San Francisco could maybe take advantage there. So yeah, let's go over the 44.5. If you can find it below that, even better. But I would also take the San Francisco plus 5 in the second game on Sunday. The final matchup in the game where we will be live streaming right here on YouTube. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we go live. We will be live streaming for the Green Bay Packers Chicago Bears game as well. But on Sunday, we'll be streaming during the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New England Patriots. Total 46. Spread is still 3.5. It's been pretty much pasted at 3.5 all week. The line is moved, but I do like the under 46. If you could find 46.5, even better, as there are still some 46.5s out there in the market. But I do like it. But I also like the Chargers plus the 3.5, and I like them on the money line at plus 166 or better. That's what I'm seeing. I think the Chargers have a real chance of knocking off the New England Patriots here. I think they're going to be able to run the ball against the Patriots. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball against the Patriots, and I think the Chargers defense is going to be probably one of the more difficult defenses New England has faced all year. We could really see them put these receivers for New England in check and slow down this efficient offense that Drake May has had all year. This is my upset pick of the week. I am going to have money on the money line for the Chargers. I will also take the plus 3.5 and give me the under 46.5 in the Los Angeles Chargers versus the New England Patriots. The final game for Wildcard weekend is the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Houston Texans are road favorites at -3. Total is sitting at 38.5. Opened at 39.5. I liked it in the early line show at under 39.5, and I still like it at under 38.5. I also think Houston is going to win this game, but I think this is a fair number. I think this could very well be a field goal game. But I think Houston's defense is just going to be too much for Pittsburgh here. They've really got some lockdown corners. Their pass rush is phenomenal. And even though Rodgers has been getting the ball out of his hands quickly all year long, I don't know if that's going to be much of a benefit for them in this game, as they are facing one of the most ferocious defenses in the NFL. In the Houston Texans. And look at this. The Steelers have not won or covered a playoff game since 2016-17. That's 6-game losing streak. And C.J. Stroud and D'Amico Ryan's 5th career playoff start as a duo, winning their first playoff game in each of the first 2 seasons in the postseason. So they like the first game of the year. Stroud 2-0 against the spread at home in the playoffs, but 0-2 on the road. So it's a tough place, tough for them to go on the road and play. But I think this is their best defense. But also, Mike Tomlin is 23-5 straight up and 16-12 against the spread on Monday Night Football, including 12-1 straight up and 7-6 against the spread when that game is at home in Pittsburgh. So all the signs and trends are pointing towards Pittsburgh here. I think that's why the under is the better play here. This is going to be a defensive matchup. And then if you wanted to, you could parlay Houston money line with one of these other teams, like maybe Philadelphia, and try to make a two-team parlay that would give you a plus money bet. Or close to it anyway. So yeah, for the final game of the wild card weekend between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers, I am going to take, if we can find it, what's the best number we can get? If we can find the 39.5, which it's almost pretty much painted at 38.5, but I still like it. Give me the under 38.5, as I don't think either offense is going to do very much. And I could see this being a field goal game either way, although I do like Houston on the money line as well. So there you have it. Those are my bets for Wild Card Weekend. Again, be sure to join me right here on Dead Money Sports, as we will be live streaming for the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, the Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots, and we will be also live streaming on the Monday night game between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So be sure to join the live stream. If you like any bets, if you don't like them, let me know in the comments below. But to everyone, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and let's enjoy all of this incredible football we've got available to us, as this is certainly a treat that we will be missing at the end of the year after the Super Bowl. Well, to everyone out there, hope you made some money on the early games, the first game of the playoffs, and be sure to take care of yourselves.
Trying